Welcome back to Timeless Messages from the I Ching. This is Stephen. Thanks for tuning in. So if you found this video, there's no mistake. Your angels, your spirit guides, your higher self, your divine inner light, your creator have brought you here to help you with a new perspective, to help you adapt or cope with the current situation that you find yourself in. The I Ching is an ancient book, thousands of years old. And I hope that the interpretations and the messages here will be very helpful to you in your current situation. As you listen to the reading, just relax and take a few deep breaths. Relax your muscles if you can. Rest and close your eyes. And it's always a good idea to listen to the messages, to the reading, at least 2 or 3 times. And then also jot down some of the main points so that you can refer back to the reading throughout your day, not the most important points. So, the question I always ask is, what are the most important messages for the viewers at the time they find this video? What are the most important messages for the viewers at the time they find this video? These timeless messages are here to help you reflect on and activate your always present inner wisdom, because this is the source from which you will make your best choices. So, without further ado, what are the most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video? Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Okay. It's a yin line. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Another yin line. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Most beneficial messages for the viewers at the time they find this video. Okay. Top trigram is Lee, and the bottom is Ken. And this stays the same. Lee, top trigram doesn't change. The bottom changes, the 9 and the 3rd position from a male or masculine line, yang line, to a yin line. And this is Kun. Kun. Okay. Tell you what, I'll write this under here so you can see it easier. Looks like it's going off the side there. So let's find out Lee and Ken. This is 56. I think that's the Wanderer. Okay, just double checking to make sure that's correct. Yep. And Lee and Kun. 35. 35. The Wanderer. Okay. And then from the Wanderer, number 35 is Progress. That always sounds good, doesn't it? So just relax, take some deep breaths, and contemplate your situation as these messages are read. So we have on the top Li, the clinging fire, and below Kun, the receptive earth, fire above the earth. This hexagram represents the sun rising over the earth. It's therefore the symbol of rapid, you know what, we have to start with 56, my apologies. Okay, we'll get to 35 in a second. So, number 56, the wanderer, the clinging fire, and keeping still, the mountain. The mountain can stand still. Above it, fire, Li, flames upward and does not tarry. Therefore, the two trigrams do not stay together. Strange lands and separation are the wanderer's lot. So these trigrams, the mountain moves downward and the fire moves upward. So these are in a movement away from each other. The judgment, the wanderer, success through smallness, perseverance brings good fortune to the wanderer. When a person is a wanderer and a stranger, they should not be gruff or overbearing. They have no large circle of acquaintances. Therefore, they should not give themselves to airs. Essentially, they should be very real and very sincere and not be rude. They must be cautious and reserved. In this way, the wanderer protects themselves from evil. If they are obliging and respectful toward others, they win success. A wanderer has no fixed abode. The wanderer's home is the road. Therefore, the wanderer must take care to remain upright and steadfast, so that they travel only in the proper places and associate only with good people. Then the wanderer has good fortune and can go their way without trouble, without problems. The image, fire on the mountain, the image of the wanderer. Thus, the superior man is clear-minded and cautious in imposing penalties and develops or contracts no lawsuits. The other idea would be no lawsuit is drawn out, protraction. So, fire in the mountain, the image of the wanderer, the superior person is clear-minded and cautious. Okay, when grass on the mountain takes fire, there is bright light. However, the fire does not linger in one place, but travels on to new fuel. It is a phenomenon of short duration. This is what penalties and lawsuits should be like. They should be a quickly passing matter and must not be dragged out indefinitely. Prisons ought to be places where people are lodged only temporarily, as guests are. They must not become dwelling places. Interesting topic there. So, 9 in the third place, and as you think about these ideas, they have some obscurity. Let them raise up different associations in your mind and just let your mind be open to what comes. 9 in the third place, the wanderer's inn burns down. The wanderer loses the steadfastness of the young servant. Danger. A stranger does not know how to behave. A rude stranger does not know how to behave properly. This stranger meddles in affairs and controversies that do not concern him or her. Thus, this wanderer loses their resting place. The wanderer treats the servant with aloofness and arrogance, thus losing the man's loyalty. When a stranger in a strange land has no one left on whom they can rely, the situation becomes very dangerous. So here we have an answer to your situation, your question, or an image, a vision of your situation as the wanderer. Someone who doesn't have a fixed abode, and the road is this person's home, essentially. The importance of being cautious in one's interaction and not being arrogant or hurtful with your words, not being rude for sure, and making sure that the people that you interact with are good, and they're not evil people. Make sure that you're not encircling yourself with problematic individuals that could bring you down. So you don't have a large circle of acquaintances at this time, it sounds like. It's perhaps as a solitary time for you, a time of contemplation, introspection, meditation, going within, considering your life in a new perspective. So the importance is to have success in small things and be very cautious and reserved in the way in which you conduct yourself with others. If you're kind and respectful of others, you will win success. The other idea is penalties and lawsuits, which is a very strange concept, but perhaps some of you can identify with this on some level. Legal situation perhaps for some of you. So the idea that penalties and lawsuits should be quickly conducted, a quickly passing matter. They shouldn't be dragged out indefinitely. And jails and prisons ought to be places where people are lodged only temporarily, as guests are. They must not become dwelling places. So this could also indicate the idea that perhaps in some area of your life you feel as though you're in a prison, and that maybe your life has become confined in such a way that you feel imprisoned. The idea here is that you don't want to stay in a permanent situation. You don't want to dwell in a situation where it feels like you're in prison. How can this be beneficial? So if it's possible for you to get out of this prison situation or mentality, state of mind, perspective, then encouragement is given to do so. And then the 9 in the third place, very important to treat one's servant with respect rather than arrogance. If we treat a person who serves us with arrogance, then that servant will no longer be loyal. And also, we don't want to interfere in the affairs of others or their controversies that do not concern us, because this will only create instability, because we don't have a strong foundation right now, because we are wandering. Okay? We are the wanderer. Not necessarily that you are actually on the road hitchhiking, but a certain amount of energy that is compelling you to be very cautious and respectful, because you are passing through a particular time where this could be described as you're wandering through a particular time in your life, an area of your life, a passage. You're going through a tunnel, a portal, and soon you'll come out to the other side. Okay? So behave very respectfully and properly to others, because when you're in a strange land, you don't have a number of people that you can rely on if the situation becomes dangerous. So be cautious and be aware of that. Number 35. So the second hexagram can amplify the first, and it can give you a different perspective about the wanderer. The other idea is that this is where you're at right now, the wanderer. This kind of addresses your current situation, and because there's a changing line to a new hexagram, progress, the energy is slowly moving from the wanderer to progress. You're not out of the wanderer archetype right now, but you're still there, but there can be considered movement toward this other archetype of progress. Okay, number 35, the clinging fire, Li above. the receptive earth Kun below. This hexagram represents the sun rising over the earth. It's a symbol of rapid and easy progress, which at the same time means ever-widening expansion and clarity. The judgment, progress, the powerful prince is honored with horses in large numbers. In a single day, he is granted audience 3 times. As an example of progress, this pictures a time when a powerful feudal lord rallies the other lords around the sovereign king and pledges fealty or loyalty and peace. The sovereign rewards this person richly and invites them to a closer connection, closer interaction. A twofold idea is set forth in this image. The actual effect of the progress comes from a person who is in a dependent position and whom the others regard as their equal and are therefore willing to follow. This leader has enough clarity of vision not to abuse their great influence, but to use it rather for the benefit of the ruler. The ruler in turn is free of all jealousy and showers presents on this great person and invites this person continually to the court. An enlightened ruler and an obedient servant. This is the condition on which great progress depends. So the image, the sun rises over the earth, the image of progress. Thus, the superior person brightens their bright virtue. The sun rises over the earth, the image of progress. Thus, the superior person brightens their bright virtue. The light of the sun, as it rises over the earth, is by nature clear. The higher the sun rises, the more it emerges from the dark mists, spreading the pristine purity of its rays over an ever-widening area. The real nature of humanity is likewise originally good, but it becomes clouded by contact with earthly things, and therefore needs purification before it can shine forth in its native clarity. So here we have the idea of a king, a sovereign, and a servant. We have an enlightened ruler and an obedient servant. So this person, this superior person, this person that's going through the archetype of progress is in a dependent position. But even so, the others regard this person as their equal and are therefore willing to follow this person. The leader has enough clarity of vision not to abuse this great influence. Okay, so you're going to have the clarity of vision to lead, but not abuse with this great influence, but to use this influence for the benefit of the ruler. The ruler, in turn, is free of all jealousy and showers gifts upon this person and invites them continually to the court. The enlightened ruler and the obedient servant. So this talks also about the sun rising over the earth. It's the symbol of easy, rapid progress, which at the same time means ever-widening expansion and clarity. The other notion that's important going through this archetype of progress, or this archetype beginning to come into your life soon, is the light of your bright virtue. So this can be fostered through contemplation and meditation, even 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day of deep contemplation, closing the eyes and breathing and drawing your energy inward and listening. This can help your bright divine light to shine forth more through you and also to you, because your original nature is good, and the pristine purity of the sunlight of the divine light within you will shine forth from the dark mists in an ever widening area. So everything looks very good with progress. The sun is shining, and the clarity is expanding much more any type of dark areas are being enlightened. And something to remember as well is that contact with earthly things can oftentimes cloud a person. Therefore, purification is helpful so that your inner being can shine in its native clarity. To help and assist with this, that idea of contemplation, even just mini contemplative periods of 2 to 3 minutes breathing, focusing inward, could be very helpful for your process. So here in this reading, we see an interesting progression between the wanderer and needing to be very cautious with one's behavior, particularly with others, being respectful and not being arrogant and not being disrespectful to others, because you're in a strange land and you don't have a lot of people to rely upon right now. So don't create problems for yourself by coming off in a very flippant or negative, disrespectful way. And that changes to progress, which will be the new energy that begins to come in. Another way of interpreting this as well is to help you through your archetypal energy of the wanderer, to help you get through that. Consider the idea of progress, that even though you may not have a lot of people to rely upon right now, the time is changing and the progress is coming through. That archetype is coming through powerfully. And that means easy progress, rapid and easy progress, just like the sun rising over the earth, expanding the clarity and the beautiful bright light. Thanks for tuning in. If you're interested in a personal reading, the information is in the description box. Please listen to this reading at least 2 or 3 more times and take some notes about the important points and try to master them and incorporate them, integrate them into your days up ahead. And actually, if you can take it even further into your being, that's always a good idea. The deeper you can take it, it will help you with your current situation, of course, but not only the current situation, as you take it deeper and deeper and are able to apply these concepts and ideas, then these ideas can also help you in future situations where you also need to be careful during your interaction with others so that you can reach the progress that you're seeking. Take care. Thanks for tuning in.